Python while loops. So this is lesson 13, while loops. Python loops. Python has two primitive loop commands, the while loops and the for loops. With the while loop, we can execute a set of statements as long as a condition is true. So example, print I as long as I is less than 6. That's why this is our condition. So we have here I equals 1 while I is less than 6 colon, and then print I, and then we increment the value of I by 1. So this will print, so initially I is 1 lesser than 6, yes, so print I, it will print 1, add 1 to I becomes 2, 2 is lesser than 6, again true, print I, so it will print 2, add 1 to I becomes 3, 3 is lesser than 6, yes, print I, it will print 3, add 1 to I, so and so on and so forth. So in this case, it will print the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So note, remember to increment I, or else the loop will continue forever because this will always be true. The while loop requires relevant variables to be ready. In this example, we need to define an indexing variable I, which we set to 1. The break statement. With the break statement, we can stop the loop even if the while condition is true. So here we have here an example that will exit the loop when I is equal to 3. So I equals 1 while I is lesser than 6. So similar with the previous one, print I, but we inserted this one if I equals 3 and then break. So and then increment the value by. So very similar with the previous example, but we inserted this one so that if, let's say for example, we are now on 3, we print the value 3, that means I is equal to 3, then in this condition this becomes true, break, so it will discontinue or it will stop the loop. That's why it will print only the numbers 1, 2 and 3. Then the continue statement. With the continue statement, we can stop the current iteration and continue with the next one. So the continue to the next iteration if I is 3, for example. So I equals 0 while I is lesser than 6, so yes, increase I by 1, so I is equal to 1. If I equals 3, continue, so false, so we print I, so it will print 1. Then 1 is lesser than 6, yes, add 1 to I becomes 2. Then is this true, false, so print I, it will print 2. Then 2 is lesser than 6, yes, I plus 1, so I becomes 3. If I equals 3, yes, continue. So when the Python encounters the continue statement, it will continue with the next iteration. So it will go to this part of the loop to the condition. So it's 3 lesser than 6, yes, I plus 1, 4. So you notice we did not pass to this statement. So 4, this is false, print I, so it will print 4. So we did not pass to this statement a while ago. That's why 3 here is missing. So and so on and so forth until we reach number 6. The else statement. With the else statement, we can run a block of code once when the condition no longer is true. So here we print a message once the condition is false. I equals 1 while I is lesser than 6, we print I plus 1, then else print I is no longer lesser than 6. So this one is similar with our previous example. So this will print the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When this condition becomes false, that means it will print 5, then 5 plus 1 is 6, so I is already equal to 6. This becomes false, then it will print this one, I is no longer less than 6. So that ends this lecture. Thank you very much for viewing this video.